Hello, welcome to Back to School Night 2022-2023. This is for human biology. I couldn't make it tonight because I had knee surgery last week and I'm still recovering, but I should be back middle of this week. So I'm going to go over a couple things, the syllabus, and some things we do in class. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, so here's our syllabus for human biology. Obviously, this is not regular biology like the students took as a freshman. This is just solely based on the human body and its systems, and basically anatomy and physiology. Anatomy, the study of the structure, and physiology, the study of the function of various structures in the body. Required classrooms. Here are the systems that we're going to go over. So right now we're in body position and anatomical terminology. So we're learning the terms that doctors, nurses, anybody in the medical profession, the terms they use when going over different body structures. So that's what we're on right now. We'll be in it until, I believe, after Fair Week. Integumentary, I don't think so. That's basically skin and all the other accessory structures like sweat glands, uh, pain receptors. It's a really dry unit, so I think we're getting rid of it. And then we go in the nervous system at the end. I think we're going to replace integumentary with nervous tissue. So we're learning the different types of tissues that make up the nervous system. Second semester, we'll go digestive system. Reproductive, we do not do that in my class. I don't know if O'Donohoe's is going to do it. I'm going to replace, it shows 4 here. I'm going to put skeletal, and then we'll finish the year with the muscular system. So in the skeletal system, you'll have to learn almost all of the 206 bones. You don't have to know all 206. I believe it's 206. But you're going to have to learn most of them. Muscles, definitely not. There's way more muscles than bones. You won't have to learn all those. Breakdown of points. 65% of our grade is exams. That's pretty obvious. Exams, lab practicals. That's part of your exam where you'll be actually using a clipboard, walking around, looking at models, looking at pictures, and identifying different structures. It's kind of like the lab that we're doing right now, the gross anatomy lab, except that'll be on test day. So there'll be 2 parts of the exams. There'll be like a written multiple choice part, and then there'll be a lab practical for most of our exams. And then quizzes makes up the other part of the 65%. So a big chunk of your grade is quizzes, lab practicals, exams. Quizzes are much easier than the exams and lab practicals, so I would highly recommend studying. I think we have a quiz. It might have been today. I don't know. Miss O'Donohoe's running my class. Labs and projects are going to be 23% of your grade. I don't know why it's a weird number like that, 23%, but it was like that when I started teaching the class. Classwork, homework's going to be 12%. Grading scale is just standard. Late work, I grade things so late. Like if something's due on Monday, I don't grade until the weekend. So as long as I get it, so if it's due Monday, I get it by Saturday when I come to school and grade it. It won't be late. So, you have a while to get it in, where it won't be late. Extra credit work. I do give a lot of extra credit, but I do not give extra credit at the end of the semester just for the sole reason of raising your grade. I won't give you a project to go from a C to an A or something like that. But, like already this year, 5th period, Andrew, Mariana, Olivia, Adrian, and Sarek, they already got extra credit, and there'll be more to come. I haven't given it to you guys yet because I haven't finished grading our first lab of the year. Exams. All right, so this one, if you have an excused absent on an exam, no problem. The second one, we're supposed to contact parents. And the third one, you're supposed to get an automatic 0. Now, obviously, if this is these are all excused absences, some exceptions can be made, but we try to make it a policy not to miss exam days, because if you miss 3 exam days and then you get to make it up, you're at a big advantage, because basically, most of what's going to be on the exam, what the written questions are going to be, what different structures of the body you're going to have to be able to know. So it's a big advantage. So we really try to stop, students from purposely missing exam days so they can hear about the exam and then come in. Because our exams are very, very difficult. They'll take the entire class, hour and a half. Once you start an exam, you got to finish it, because once again, it's a big benefit to look over the entire exam, go really, really slow, and then say, hey, I want to make it up next class. Well, now you know what to go back and study for, for the next time you do it. Lab write-ups, due dates, basically the same thing. Makeup work, it's your responsibility of the student to always check Google Classroom, 95% of my assignments are going to be on Google Classroom. So even if you're sick, you can just look on Google Classroom and see it on there. Extra credit again, I don't know why it's twice. Student expectations, pretty standard. Videos, which one are we going to see? Maybe Outbreak. That's about viruses. Patch Adams. These are old movies. Lorenzo's Oil. I've never even heard of that. I've been teaching this like 5-6 years. I don't think we're going to see that one. I don't even know what that's about. And office hours. Email me if you need to meet and talk. All right, so that's it for our syllabus. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a very, very difficult class. It's basically a college class taught in high school. And it's really a pretty difficult college class. It'll be more, unless you go to Harvard or something, or Stanford maybe. But I went to COS in Fresno State, and I'm like, wow, this class is harder than a lot of the classes I took in college. I mean, this is why the students that are in here are 3.5 and above. These are your valedictorians. They're the best of the best. So this is your semi-complete list of terms they'll need to know for Unit 1 exam. That'll be the week after Fair Week, I believe. Usually we give you Fair Week, kind of go easy on Fair Week. So most of this you guys learned in the summer assignment: anatomical terms, body cavities that hold your organs, anatomical locations, which is most of these are brand new for you guys. So, if I point to this, you guys would say, hey, that's your cheek. That'd be real easy if it was, but in anatomy, that's called buccal. And, what you hear with, you'd say, oh, those are your ears. Well, yeah, that'd be easy. But in anatomy, it's otic. So these are just, and there's a big, we're continuing on here, so a lot of them, some of them are easy, like pedal. That's your foot. You pedal a bike with your foot. So most of this is not confusing. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of stuff to remember, and basically in college, most of your classes, that's what it's going to be. A lot of stuff to remember. So this list, and then you got the major organs that they'll need to know for Unit 1. There will be more organs added on through the various units, but this is what they'll need to know for Unit 1. So that's a very substantial list. That's over 100 terms. So it's really not confusing. It's just trying to cram a bunch of information in your brain, remembering stuff, not relying on Google. So that's your list of terms. All right. So this is the lab we're doing right now, the gross anatomy lab. So this is how the students learn the material. I do have lectures, but they're all pre-recorded where they can watch them at home. So they learn the material through their activities they do in class, mostly. Remember, this is more remembering information than it is trying to figure out, like physics, where you got to try to use critical thinking and stuff like that. This is more medicine, where you got to remember things. So here's, the gross anatomy lab. So this is what our lab practical is going to look like on exam day. You'll have a torso that's just all labeled up with letters, and you'll have to know the different organs, like, liver, obviously heart, diaphragm, trachea, and esophagus. And as they go around in their 7 stations, these organs are going to be going by over and over. They're going to be repeated several times. So this is a way we try to get the students an opportunity to learn the material. So it's not, the goal is not just to get your 150 points or whatever this lab is going to be worth. But the real goal is to learn this stuff. So when test day comes around, that you'll know that this purple thing right here, that's the spleen. And then right here, you'll see this on exam day, I'm sure. This is the model of the digestive system. So you should know how food travels from the mouth through the esophagus into the stomach. And you're gonna have in the digestive system, you don't need to know a lot more in depth, and into the duodenum of the small intestines, around and through the small intestines, the jejunum and the ileum, into the colon or large intestine, ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid, and then the rectum. And then once again, you can see how some of these structures have repeated. So here's Mr. Spleen again. There's the pancreas that was on the last model. Here's the liver. Here's the gallbladder. So if you're really doing these assignments and really really working on them and concentrating, this is how we learn the material. So it's going to be a difficult class, but most of the kids in my class, most of them are A's and B's, a few C's, very few D's, and very few F's. So anyways, that's the end of my presentation. If you guys have any questions, you guys have my syllabus. The students all have my syllabus. It's also on the beginning of this video. So feel free to email me or call me with any questions you have. I look forward to having a good year.